Satya Dharma Reflection on March 22nd, 2022. Don't be limited with just stillness or indifference. Don't be limited. To sit, to stand, to lay down with limitations for what? Everything is awakened. Everything is brightening. This is the force of the blessing. It's impossible to not having it. In the way of disregard, even from the disregard itself, brighten out as well, awaken out as well. If you purify through the extinction and the emptiness simultaneously, let's not be limited to be just with stillness, indifference, or stopping anywhere. Let's form up the great compassion and compassion. This is not just about to pay back the gratitude or compensate with the gratitude. Right away, share the great compassion. Don't think only with just compensate the gratitude. Learn to share the compassion, great compassion by oneself. Let's not be limited. That which is not limited. So don't be stuck with just karmic habits. To be stuck with just karmic habits with certain extents. Let's go beyond limits. To be delusively limited turns into karmic habits. Even the disregard has nothing to do with itself. So how can one be limited to any certain extent? Uninvolved even within the uninvolved itself. Simultaneously with the form up of the great compassion and compassion. Simultaneously with the form up of the awakening and the brightening. Go ahead, form up the awakening and the brightening. This is the force to help samsara. Just don't hold in or maintain any senses and sense perceptions. It's already awakening, it's already brightening. Just go on in the way of disregard, even from the disregard itself. It will be brightening in the way that is uninvolved, even within the uninvolved itself. This essence of uninvolved, even within the uninvolved itself, there's no need to let go or not letting go of anything, putting down or not putting down anything. Just open up directly. There is no need to act on letting go or not letting go of anything. Disregard, even from the disregard itself, is already there. There is no need to be delusively extinguished or not with anything whatsoever. Don't be concerned with the letting go, the attempt to let go or not letting go. That which has nothing to do with letting go or not. Don't be concerned with putting down or not putting down of anything. That which has nothing to do with putting down or not. Uninvolved, even within the uninvolved itself, is not considered as anything. It's not considered as form or formlessness, body or mind, or any types of dharma. It's not considered as being anything. Disregard, even from the disregard itself. Don't let it become something. It's not considered as anything. Don't be delusively thinking that it's something. There is no meaning as extinction or not, being empty or not. Don't use titi, opinions or knowing for the blessing. Use that which has nothing to do with knowing or not knowing. Use that which has nothing to do with the mind, that which is not the mind, for the blessing. No is not even know itself. Don't be busy searching through the looking and seeing. Disregard, even from the disregard itself, instantly. That kind of searching through the looking and seeing and knowing is the samudaya. Disregard right away, disregard, even from the disregard itself. Don't be stuck and fixated with just consideration, searching in such a way through looking, seeing and knowing. This is all about desire and craving. Disregard even from the disregard itself, instantly. Don't be obsessed to be deludedly practicing the looking, seeing, observing, considering and analyzing. This is all about craving. that which has nothing to do with progression or deterioration, that which has nothing to do with practicing or not practicing, progressing or not. What is there to grab, to make it progress or not? Don't be obsessed with just anicca. That which has nothing to do with the uninvolved itself. It has nothing to do with anicca, dukkha and anatta. It's not considered as any attributes or any conditions. All the conditions is still anicca, dukkha and anatta within itself. Any attributes is still has the characteristics of anicca, dukkha, anatta in itself. That which has nothing to do with the uninvolved itself is not considered as any attributes or any conditions at all. Being busy with practicing of the karmic habits in observing, in looking, seeing and knowing, searching to observe, to look, to see, to know, disregard right away. Cut through the cycle right away. There is no need to sightseeing. Disregard even from the disregard itself. The disregard cuts through itself. The cutting cuts through itself, so that it will not become a cycle, not become a cycle becoming within the body, mind, elements. It's not become the cycle of becoming within the mental mind, samsara of the mind. This is derived from the practice, the attempt to practice being deluded with progression and declination on and on. The more practice, the more becoming. The becoming is derived from the practice. This is unnoticed, thinking that it is right. Being deluded that it is, even know is not, even know itself. Being deluded to yes with something until it becomes realms of existence. Disregard, even from the disregard itself. Don't be obsessed to be concerned with observing, looking, seeing and knowing in senses, in sense perception on and on. So that it will be direct with the purification of extinction and emptiness for samsara. Disregard, even from the disregard itself simultaneously, so that it will be purifying through the extinction. Don't be obsessed with the connection towards samsara, through the senses and sense perception on and on. Uninvolved, even within the uninvolved itself continuously. disregard, even from the disregard itself continuously, it will give ending to the circle, to the cycle. All this sightseeing or circling with knowing insight, circling in itself, circling with opinions and meanings, and opinions and meanings of titi is circling. This is all about samsara, internal samsara. Disregard instantly, disregard even from the disregard itself. Cutting the cutting itself. Don't be obsessed with having to do with samsara connection, connecting with the beings or all type of mental connection. This is all about samudaya. It is the factors and causes of suffering, of samsara, of karma and karmic difficulties entirely. Unable to give ending for samsara, it has to be beyond mind. To be stuck with just form or formlessness, body and mind, is impossible to help ending for samsara. So don't be considerate to one's own mind, one's own body and mind, form and formlessness. Not even give consideration to the consideration itself. Disregard even from the disregard itself, well with it. Then there will not be the delusion to the path and the result of the path. Well, to disregard even from the disregard itself, it will automatically giving ending to the path and the result of the path. Even the noble ones still samsara. The worldlings are samsara already. Even the disregard has nothing to do with itself. To be obsessed with being worldlings or noble ones on and on. For what? Be direct. Nibbana that is not even Nibbana itself. Don't be obsessed to use titi to grab something with opinions and meanings. Even the disregard is not the disregard itself. Don't be obsessed with opinions and meanings and titi. Disregard. Without the disregard, it's impossible to end. Whatever one practice, the cycle of becoming is right there. Uninvolved with the disregard itself. So that it will not be stuck with just letting go or not letting go, putting down or not putting down. That is still samsara, still worldlings and noble ones on and on. Uninvolved even within the uninvolved itself continuously. help give ending for samsara altogether, ending as helping samsara. Go ahead with the power of the essence, purified through the emptiness for samsara. That which has nothing to do with the animal itself, for the whole samsara, go ahead powerfully, like a lion's roar. Don't disappear through the extinction and the emptiness. Disregard, even from the disregard itself, has to be given simultaneously with awakening and brightening for samsara. Go ahead with the great compassion. There's not much of anything, just help ending as helping through the purification of the extinction and the emptiness. This is the great compassion. There's not much. Just help through the purification of the extinction and the emptiness. The great compassion has not much to do with anything other than that. Disregard, even from the disregard itself, simultaneously with samsara. This is the great compassion. May all karma towards the physical world, samsara, and all beings, towards temples and religions, or towards the path to the enlightenment, which has been karma altogether. May everything be forgiven. Ahosi, ahosi, ahosi.